We've all been there. Longing for a bit of relaxation, you grab your phone and start scrolling social media with the hope of finding something uplifting or interesting or distracting. And it often starts out comforting or entertaining, right? Something makes you laugh, you learn something new, you catch up with your favorite creators and get a bunch of hits of dopamine. But at some point, it stops being comforting and starts being dysregulating and overstimulating. But you barely notice because with the mindless flick of your thumb, there's a constant stream of information and entertainment keeping you focused on the glowing screen. You've fallen into a scroll hole, and you're now in the world of information overload, emotional exhaustion, and the mostly unconscious pursuit of more and more hits of dopamine. And it's not your fault either. It's completely designed to be this way. The social media algorithms feeding you this endless stream of content know exactly how to give you intermittent dopamine hits that keep you just satisfied enough but still wanting more. And they understand that nothing grabs human attention like fear, rage, and shame. So content that feeds those feelings is intermittently inserted into your feed as well. Your comforting scroll has now become a doom scroll, and it's so hard to stop. To break free from the cycle of doom scrolling and to break our social media addiction, we need to reconnect with something much deeper than the constant stream of content on our phones. We need to reconnect with our bodies and the present moment, and a bigger sense of who we are and what we want and need. We need to regulate our nervous systems and get clear about what's driving us to begin scrolling in the first place. The truth is, doom scrolling is often a coping mechanism that we turn to when we want to escape discomfort or avoid deeper feelings we don't want to face. It could be stress, loneliness, boredom, or we may be unconsciously attempting to meet a need. But while the content we consume can give us those brief moments of relief, doom scrolling does not help us feel better in the long run. In fact, it dysregulates our nervous systems, dysregulates our emotions, and dysregulates our dopamine. And consistent exposure to content that creates feelings of fear, rage, and shame can even shift our sense of self and our sense of safety in the world in significant ways over time. So, to truly break our social media addiction, we need to understand the deeper emotions and unmet needs that are beneath our tendency to doom scroll. That's where this somatic meditation to break your social media addiction comes in. First, you're simply going to be guided to drop in and gently begin to regulate. Then we'll use a body-centered emotional processing technique called regenerating images in memory to examine and process the deeper feelings, needs, and desires that are driving this tendency to doom scroll in the first place. I think you'll find this meditation regulating and clarifying, and it can empower you to create a more mindful relationship with technology, one that supports your well-being rather than depleting it. And, as is true with all of my meditations, you can do this meditation repeatedly to go deeper and create more change in your system over time. Welcome to Somatic Healing Meditations, the podcast that helps you regulate your nervous system, deepen your healing journey, and feel better in your body. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm Karenna with Hello Inner Light, and I specialize in helping you regulate your nervous system and heal the wounds that have been holding you back in effective, body-centered ways. So if that's the kind of content that you need more of in your life, please subscribe to this podcast and join me every Friday on this beautiful journey out of your head and into your more embodied and authentic self. And if you want to learn even more about how to regulate your nervous system and connect with your body and emotions in a deep and supportive way, I have a free mini course called the Feel It to Heal It mini course that's available on my website. In 5 powerful mini lessons, It will help you drop in, deepen your compassionate self-understanding, and find more clarity and healing on your journey. Now, before we get started, here's a quick word from the sponsors that make all this free content possible. Now let's dive into this somatic meditation to stop doom scrolling and break your social media addiction. So finding a time and a space where it's safe and comfortable to really turn your attention inward. We're going to begin this meditation with our eyes open. So interestingly, our eyes and our gaze deeply affect our nervous system. And one of the many ways that doom scrolling dysregulates our nervous system is the type of narrow focus we use when we're focused on small details on our phones can actually be stressful and exhausting physiologically and psychologically to our bodies and our brains. So to begin this meditation, make sure that you take your eyes away from any screens and just soften your gaze and widen your gaze. And taking a gentle breath, imagine that you could see the entire horizon in front of you. Even if you're inside, you can imagine that there's an entire horizon spread out in front of you. Now, taking a few soft and gentle breaths into the back of your lungs. Go ahead and notice what you can see with your peripheral vision. And you can even imagine that you could sense the horizons on all sides of you. So breathing gently into the back of your lungs, you can sense the horizon to the right of you. And to the left of you. And behind you. Letting your gaze get even softer. And just noticing how this feels, this very simple modulation of your gaze and your breath. And if you want to learn even more about how our gaze affects our nervous system, episode 11 of this podcast, called Quick Exercise to Relax Your Nervous System, is all about that. And now just letting your eyes gently close. Bring your awareness even more to your breath. Noticing that you can feel the air moving in and out through your nostrils. Noticing that you can feel your rib cage ever so slightly expanding to the right and the left with every inhale. Feeling how the natural rhythm of your breath just gently causes your rib cage to expand ever so slightly on every inhale. And then your rib cage falls and gets smaller on every exhale. Imagining on your next breath that you could breathe in through your heart and out through your belly button. Even imagining that you could feel the space or the distance between your heart and your belly button. Imagining that you could breathe in through your throat and out through your shoulders on both sides. And again, imagining that you could feel the space or the distance between your throat and your shoulders. Imagining that you could breathe in through your right ear and out through your left elbow. Feeling the space or the distance between those 2 points. Breathing in through your left ear and out through your right elbow. Feeling the space and the distance. And then imagining that you could breathe in through your knees and out through the soles of your feet. Feeling the space and the distance. And now just breathing in and out through your heart. And as you breathe in and out through your heart, you can invite your breath to just gently get a little bit slower. Just finding a very comfortable pace that's just slightly slower than your normal pace. And as you continue to breathe, your awareness drops more and more into your body, into your feelings, into the center of your being. And you just begin to notice how you're feeling. What feelings are here as you begin to tune into your body and your heart? These may be feelings that have been stirred up by doom scrolling. Or they may be feelings that you were using doom scrolling to avoid or numb. And as you take a few more gentle breaths, just begin to greet whatever feelings are here. There's no wrong way to feel, and there's no wrong thing to feel. So, saying hello to all of the feelings that you notice right now. And as your attention goes even deeper within, one of those feelings is going to begin to call your attention more than the others. So, this feeling that's calling your attention the most has something to do with the deeper feelings, needs, and desires beneath your tendency to doom scroll. So that's the feeling we're going to work with today. So just noticing whatever feeling is calling your attention the most right now. And where do you feel this feeling the most? Is it more on the right or the left? Or maybe it's centralized, or maybe it's everywhere. Is it more deep or superficial? Or maybe it's both or neither. How big is this feeling? Or how much space does it take up within or around you? Noticing the height, width, thickness, and shape of this feeling. What color is this feeling? Does it have a texture or a temperature? And you may have answers to all of these questions, or you may not. But the important part is that you're asking yourself these questions with curiosity. So just noticing anything else you notice about this feeling in your body. And now you're going to draw closer to this feeling with your imagination and your attention. You're going to draw closer and closer to this color, this shape, this texture, whatever it is that you noticed. And then your imagination is just going to take your awareness into this feeling. It's like you become the color and the shape and the size. You become this color. You know what it knows and you feel what it feels. And now, being this feeling, you're going to speak as this feeling. Just letting your words come forward, speaking as this feeling. You're just going to say, what it's like to be me is. Breathing and feeling and speaking as this feeling, you're just going to say, deep down, what I'm struggling with is. Breathing and feeling, surrendering even more into this feeling, and finishing this sentence as this feeling. What I'm afraid would happen if I stop doom scrolling is. Now continuing to speak as this feeling, you're just going to say, what I really want or need is. Then just continuing to speak as this feeling, you're going to say, what it would feel like if I got what I really want or need is. Breathing and dropping in even further. We're going to do those questions again, those last two questions, just because sometimes it takes it deeper. So continuing to be this feeling, speaking as this feeling, you're just going to say, what I really want or need is. Breathing, speaking as the feeling, you're just going to say, what it would feel like if I got what I really want or need is. Breathing, letting your words come forward, speaking as this feeling. Again, you're just going to say, what I really want or need is. time, as this feeling, you're just going to say what it would feel like if I got what I really want or need is. Breathing and feeling, continuing to speak as this feeling. You're just going to say, what I'm realizing now is. Breathing and feeling, speaking as this feeling, you're just going to say, how it feels to realize this is. And now just speaking anything else that wants to be spoken as this feeling until that feels complete. When that feels complete, your imagination is going to take your awareness out of this feeling and back into your whole self. Taking a gentle breath and just landing back in the wholeness and totality of you. And as your whole self, really receive everything that that feeling just said. Really receive everything that that feeling just shared. And take a moment to reflect on what that feeling just shared with you. What do you understand now that you didn't understand before? And what feels different within you now that you understand this? And what looks different to you now? And now that you have this different understanding of the feelings, needs, and desires that are beneath your tendency to doom scroll, how can you move forward differently? Taking a few more breaths, just noticing if anything else wants to happen within you, or if anything else wants to be noticed within you. And just noticing that, or letting that happen now. Taking another breath, just know that anything that has shifted within you, any feelings that you've shifted, or any realizations that you've had, they're now a part of you. They're a part of your cells and your heart and your mind, and you'll move forward differently with this knowing within you. Now ask your body if there's anything else it wants or needs before we bring this to a close. And just listen and receive any answer that your body gives you. When you're ready, your unconscious mind is going to let you know that all of this is fully integrated into your cellular memory and your emotional memory by bringing full feeling and weight into your arms and legs, fingers and toes, and spontaneously opening your eyes. Great work. So, how did that feel to you? And what do you know now about your tendency to doom scroll? And how can knowing that help you moving forward? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, you're invited to enroll in my free mini course, the Feel It to Heal It mini course, to experience even more regulation, connection, and clarity. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to the podcast and also rate and review it. You could also send this episode to a friend who you think would enjoy it. And don't forget to join me every Friday on this beautiful journey out of your head and into your more embodied and authentic self.